let's go back to Walt Whitman, and I'm going to take on his big section here called By the Roadside. It seems to be a collection of ballads. Let's give it a try. This first one's a little long. Let's give it a try. It's called a Boston Ballad, 1854. The subtitle is in parentheses. By the Roadside, 1854, a Boston Ballad. To get betimes in Boston town, I rose this morning early. Here's a good place at the corner. I must stand and see the show. Clear the way there, Jonathan. Way for the president's marshal. Way for the government cannon. Way for the federal foot and dragoons, and the apparitions copiously tumbling. I love to look on the stars and stripes. I hope the fifes will play Yankee Doodle. How bright shine the cutlasses of the foremost troops. Every man holds his revolver, marching stiff through Boston town. A fog follows. Antiques of the same come limping. Some appear wooden-legged, and some appear bandaged and bloodless. Why, this is indeed a show. It has called the dead out of the earth. The old graveyards of the hills have hurried to see. Phantoms, phantoms, countless by flank and rear. Cocked hats and mothy mold, crutches made of mist. Arms in slings. Old men leaning on young men's shoulders. What troubles you, Yankee phantoms? What is all this chattering of bare gums? Does the ague convulse your limbs? Do you mistake your crutches for firelocks and level them? If you blind your eyes with tears, you will not see the president's marshal. If you groan such groans, you might balk the government cannon. For shame, old maniacs, bring down those tossed arms and let your white hair be. Here gape your great-grandsons. Their wives gaze at them from the windows. See how well dressed. See how orderly they conduct themselves. Worse and worse. Can't you stand it? Are you retreating? Is this hour with the living too dead for you? Retreat then, pell-mell, to your graves. Back to the hills, old limpers. I do not think you belong here anyhow. But there is one thing that belongs here. Shall I tell you what it is, gentlemen of Boston? I will whisper it to the mayor. He shall send a committee to England. They shall get a grant from the Parliament, go with a cart to the royal vault, dig out King George's coffin, unwrap him quick from the grave cloths, box up his bones for a journey. Find a swift Yankee clipper. Here is freight for you, black-billed clipper. Up with your anchor, shake out your sails, steer straight towards Boston Bay. Now call for the president's marshal again. Bring out the government cannon. Fetch home the roars from Congress. Make another procession. Guard it with foot and dragoons. This centerpiece for them. Look, all orderly citizens. Look from the windows, women. The committee. Open the box. Set up the regal ribs. Glue those that will not stay. Clap the skull on top of the ribs, and clap a crown on top of the skull. You have got your revenge, old buster. The crown has come to its own, and more than its own. Stick your hands in your pockets, Jonathan. You are made man from this day. You are mighty cute, and here is one of your bargains. (1854). So clearly there's soldiers, and then the ghosts and apparitions of the Revolutionary War. King George brought back in skeletal form, propped up, given some sort of a ceremony of no regard. Effigy, maybe, sort of. Not quite sure I get all of that. But interesting. Fills the brain with novelty, huh?